Hello, lovely people. I'm Sinead, and welcome. You may be wondering why I'm wearing the same thing I was on Wednesday. Well, that's because these two videos were recorded on the same day, and I didn't take the time to change clothes to give it a different look. I apologize if that bothers you. I'm gonna just let it be. Today I had promised from last week that I would show you the finished shelves and how they came out. I am very pleased, and I will get down there and show you that. But before we get to that, you may notice the Sindys over here, and I did a little head swapping this week. These are all Barbie made to moves, and I gotta say that the petite body is probably the closest to the Sindy in size, and probably my favorite as far as size goes. But I had a plus size, and this one was supposed to be a petite, but she is thin and tall, and I don't know why they've labeled her petite, because she's very tall. The proportions make her come across as very tall, and it does not fit the same clothes. And in fact, she's thicker through the body than the petite doll, because she cannot wear all of the Sindy clothes that are tight-fitting. Anyway, I wanted Sindy to have the expression that she was able to have and the movement she was able to have in her 1970s iteration, where she had a little click knees and wire in the arms so that she could pose her arms and actually reach up and touch her face if she needed to for a photo. If you want to give certain expression, she could put her hand over her mouth and express surprise. And the Kid Creations didn't do that. She also couldn't tilt her head, and we definitely are able to tilt the head. She couldn't tip her head down, which, you know, this one's got the head kind of tipped down. And I missed those things about her, so I put her on these bodies. And the other thing that was interesting is that this particular plus size, I had this Barbie for a while, but I didn't like her face. And so I never used her in photographs at all. And once I put this Sindy on there, the Sindy's personality came out, and all of a sudden I was just like, no, that's the body she always needed, that fits the character and the way in which I wanted to use her in photographs. And before, there was always a matter of expression that she couldn't do, and now she can. So if you have a Sindy and you want to change her out, a Kid Creation Sindy, the head is quite hard. It feels hard. It is not squishy at all. And that's, by the way, a good thing, because it means that there are less of those poisonous softeners in the plastic that are actually not very good for you. So that's great, but the hot water, you got to leave it in there longer than you do for a Barbie head. So it takes longer for it to reach a stage that you can squeeze and get it off of the original body, and then you have to immediately be ready to put it on the new body, because it's not going to stay soft for very long, or you'll be softening it up again. In the process too, this one especially, her head was squeezed to a little bit narrower than what it had been, and because I didn't, I don't know, squeeze it back the other direction, give it an opposite direction squeeze, her face is now a little bit narrower than it was before. And I actually think it does something to her personality, her appearance, that it's not bad. But just be aware that if you're doing this, I don't know if you can see the difference, but maybe if we put her face up, you see the difference there. Her face is just a little bit narrower than it was. And I was aware when I was doing the other two, because they were after, and I made sure that their faces were returned back to their shape. because it does cool down rather quickly, and once it's cooled down, you'd have to heat it up again to reshape it. And since I am pleased with what happened, I'm not going to reshape it, but that's heating it up again. And heating it up inside a Ziploc bag into the hot water, like my Froggy stuff does it, keeps from all the wet hair and having to restyle their hair. So I thought that was a great piece of advice from her. Another thing that has been going on is I have been updating on the knitting of this dress for pattern, and great news here. This went together without a hitch. I was able to get this one done. I've been talking about it on Craft and Chat about how much the other one, as I was trying to get it done for the pattern, I believe it's a pink one and Elwyn's wearing it. So this one's ready for me to do the crochet trim and make sure that I've got the instructions on that correct. I even prepped it by getting the back seam sewn together. So it's all ready to go, waiting for trim. And I tell you what, I absolutely love this color. This is just so bright and cheerful. Could be why I like that wall. Very similar. And I don't know if I showed you the goblin once I put her hair on, but she has kind of trollish hair, but I don't make it stand up. I've got it just on here in a kind of ponytail. And I received this monstrous block of wood. It's basswood, and it wasn't supposed to be two pieces glued together, but it is. And I will have to work with that. But she is going to get a body out of this once I decide which way to cut it, to start working on it to make her a body and hopefully arms and legs. If I don't have enough in this block, I might have smaller blocks that will suffice. And I believe that is all that I've got sitting up here. So it's time to go down and look at how the shelves turned out. A little note before we descend down into the lower floor. I don't have a craft for today. We're just exploring what I have managed to finish. And I hope that isn't too big a disappointment, but I've been busy with the redware and haven't had time to prepare anything. So, and Joey's bringing home more for me to do, so I have to get back to it. Making the living, gotta happen. And I'm just glad that I get to do some kind of artwork in the process. So let's go down to that lower level. I had to take my little wall divider out so that you could get an angle in here. And let me see if I can zoom in. And you can see that Jody has put her chainsaw away over there. It turned out just so much fun. The one of the little snakes on the shelf is another thing that was found in the yard. The unicorn, let's see if I can point to it. Right there is a unicorn bead. And the green chicken, as I said before. The pith helmet, let's see, that's a Lego pith helmet. Those were all found in the yard. The people before us, well, they weren't very tidy, to say the least. And there were a lot of toys all over the property. We found baseball bats, baseballs, arrows, shovels, all kinds of things out in the yard. A foam lace toy that you used to teach or to occupy small children with lacing activities was out in the back. And there's 10 acres here, and it just amazes me how much stuff humankind will leave any place and every place. And the number of action figures and pieces of Lego. that were found, and the mice would collect them as well. The mice would, if you found a mouse nest, there was almost always a piece of Lego in it. So it wasn't it wasn't just us finding stuff. Other people, other creatures, excuse me, not people, mice were collecting it. And I do wonder if the raccoons also collected it. I don't know. Never found a raccoon nest. I did see a couple of raccoons, but they keep pretty much clear of us. Anyway, so there's the shelves, and I love the way they turned out. I've got some cool little books down there and everything. And some of these potions are really fun. They glow in the dark. And the little brass pieces have come from various different places over the years. And I think they really add to the environment, as well as the thimble back there. And of course I've added frogs and lizards and snakes, just all kinds of amphibians, because I mean, what's a witch's place without them? And yeah, yes, I lean into the stereotypical witch. I am a witch, and I lean into the stereotypical for fun, because I think it's funny. So I hope I'm not offending witches, other witches, because they don't like that stereotype. But I think it's funny, and that's why I lean into it and play with it. And I hope you enjoy it too. I hope you think it's funny. Don't think for a second that an actual witch has lizards, toads, and snakes unless she wants them. That it's not a requirement. And my potions ingredients are herbs out of the garden. They're nothing else. And from the store. I buy herbs. I do. I buy a lot of herbs. I'm really good at growing dandelions, but so far vegetables are eluding me. Which, hey, a dandelion's a vegetable, so if I just stick that over in the vegetable column, I'm good. Now that I have entertained you once again with frivolity of ridiculousness, I hope you have a delightful day and a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.